Another Igbo politician asked Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu from the DSS custody. Hear the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today's date is 14th of August 2025, and I have a very important information for every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people. Another Igbo politician has asked Tinubu once again for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Now, normally I shouldn't be talking about this, but there's a particular reason why it is very, very imperative that I come out and speak about this. You see, there are some words that this man used while making his, statement. I don't want to jump into that, but I want to take it one after the other. Let us read and analyze it properly. I'm going to send a very important message to not only this man, but to also other Igbo politicians. I'm not saying nobody should come and talk about the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Everybody should come out and start speaking. But we are going to send message to them. So before then, let us read this very information from Vanguard News Nigeria, and according to their own title, they said, former Lagos lawmaker begs Tinubu to pardon Nnamdi Kanu. There are two words there. Number one is beg, and then number two is pardon. I want people to understand that Nnamdi Kanu is not a criminal. Nnamdi Kanu is a prisoner of conscience. He's a political prisoner. He's not a criminal. Everybody is aware that he's not a criminal, irrespective of the criminal charges against him. We all know, Nigeria is aware that Nnamdi Kanu is not a criminal. The same thing with Mazi Simon Ekpa. They are all prisoners of conscience, all political prisoners. Now listen, when you say pardon or beg, you can beg till tomorrow. Tinubu will not listen to you. But when you say pardon, you make it sound as if that he wants to pardon a criminal. But we are going to get into that. Let us first of all read in details. A former lawmaker in Lagos State, Judy Dimogu, has appealed to President Bola Tinubu to grant clemency to the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. The news agency of Nigeria, NAN, reports that Kanu, the leader of the self-determination movement, Enokwa Vanguard, self-determination movement. That is fantastic. It's no longer proscribed indigenous people of Biafra. Change, you see, change is the most constant thing in life. Now, self-determination movement was arrested in Nairobi, Kenya, was kidnapped in Nairobi, Kenya in 2021, brought back to Nigeria via extraordinary rendition. You have to be sincere to the fullest. Be sincere to the fullest. Now, via extraordinary rendition to Nigeria, and has been in custody facing trial. Now, he talked about clemency, but let's continue first. Idimogo, in an interview with NAN on Sunday in Lagos, urged well-meaning Nigerians, including Igbo leaders, Southeast governors, to speak with one voice by asking to the president to grant Kanu a pardon. He said that such a pardon, if granted, will not be forgotten and will aid the party's fortune in the Southeast in the 2027 general elections. Now, these are the problems that I'm having with them. We are not going to allow the situation of Nnamdi Kanu to be politicized. We don't want it to be politicized. Again, we are not going to allow the Igbo greedy politicians, to use the situation of Nnamdi Kanu as an exchange for 2027 presidential election or general election, so to say. It is not allowed. It is not and can never be allowed. No matter the sabotage, no matter how you people penetrated this very education and sabotage it, we want to tell you people that the situation of Nnamdi Kanu can never be used as an exchange for political gains in 2027. It is not possible. Mark it somewhere. Today's date is 14th of August. Go and write it somewhere that you all are going to fail woefully. So, everybody who wants to speak about the release of Nnamdi Kanu, you are highly welcome. We are not going to attack you. We are not going to shut you up, so long as you are a human being located within the geographical entity called Nigeria. Whether you are Igbo or Yoruba, Hausa, whoever you are, wherever you come from, you are highly welcome. Even outsiders are highly welcome. But not to use it to gain political relevance. Never. So 2027 is dead on arrival. We don't want to hear anybody attaching Nnamdi Kanu's situation to whatever you are eyeing on 2027 general election. Be warned. You must be warned, because it's very, very important. Now, the ex-lawmaker said, I want to appeal with our dear president, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, to kindly see the need to use political means to grant Nnamdi Kanu clemency. I want to appeal to all well-meaning Nigerians, not just those from Igbo extraction, to help plead with Mr. President to use his good office to release Mr. Kanu. You see, like as I said before, you can appeal, you can do whatever you want to know. I don't have any issues with that. But Nnamdi Kanu is not for politics. Everybody must pay attention to that. If this one is done, I believe the insecurity situation and tension in the southeast will reduce, if not completely curbed and eradicated. According to him, a lot of miscreants have been using Nnamdi Kanu's name to cause mayhem and atrocities in the region. Idimogo, the deputy leader of Ndibo in the Lagos APC, stated that the release of Kanu has numerous advantages for both the southeast and Nigeria. He said that it would de-escalate the tension and revive the region's economy. Mr. President, kindly look at the Southeast case and bring back businesses and trading long stagnated in the region because of insecurity. Okay? An average Igbo man is a trader. We cannot overlook this situation and the contributions of these traders in the Southeast to the economy. Was there any economy in the first place? The answer is no. Although that is not even my problem at this very point in time. Let's continue. Southeast used to be home to a lot of people before now. It has just suddenly changed to the den of insecurity and other vices. This can be arrested with Kanu's release. Mr. President, we know you to be a father with a compassionate heart. Please help us in the southeast. Grant Kanu freedom to stabilize our region, Idimogu stated. He added that releasing Kanu would also help the ruling APC in the southeast as the nation approaches 2027 general elections. You see, we are still in 2025. Tinubu has never done anything. He has been junketing from one country to another. As I'm talking to you now, he's flying again. He's already in the air. So this man has absolutely nothing to offer. He doesn't care about your economy you're talking about, because there was no economy in the first place. Did he? Is there any time Tinubu told anybody that he's coming to build Nigeria? Was there any time, both during the campaign or whenever, that Tinubu promised you a better life? Everything Tinubu said was all propaganda for him to sweet-tongue you. He's a proper Nigerian politician, a typical African politician in that case. So we all know this. Apart from those fools who believed on whatever, whatever lies that were sold to them during the campaign. So, Tinubu doesn't care. The reason why Nnamdi Kanu is in the DSS custody till today, in fact, the reason why he was even kidnapped in the first place in Kenya, was because of Biafra. Strictly because of Biafra. And if Biafra is not yet achieved, the release of Nnamdi Kanu is not strictly to help him. It's not strictly, yes, releasing him will go a long way, but it's not strictly to help him. Go and check all the political prisoners, all the prisoners of conscience all over the world. Go through the history. Every political prisoner has always been released with freedom. Not his own personal freedom, but the freedom of that nation that he's fighting for. The release of Nnamdi Kanu is not only for his own personal, gains, for him to be free. It has to come with something. How many years do you want to imprison him before you give him Biafra? This is 10 good years now. From 2015 to 2025 is 10 years. Do you want him to stay like Nelson Mandela? Nelson Mandela stayed for 27 years. Do you still want to imprison somebody in this modern world, in this modern era, for 27 years before you give him freedom? How many years was Mahatma Gandhi imprisoned? What about Nnamdi Kanu? Well, let me not even go far. Let's use the one in the zoo. How many years did they imprison Nnamdi Kanu before they granted them freedom? 10 years is not enough for you? That you will come here and start begging Tinubu to grant him a pardon and clemency? No, that is not what we are talking about. Nnamdi Kanu has suffered already for Biafra. Since 10 years now, his life has been taken away from him. His normal way of living has been completely taken away from him. And you are begging for his mere release from DSS custody? Are you kidding me? So you think when Nnamdi Kanu is released now, we'll now say, okay, thank you, Tinubu, for releasing him. We don't want Biafra again. None of you do not want to talk about Biafra. All these evil politicians, none of you want to put mouth in that Biafra matter. You forgot that is the reason why Nnamdi Kanu is in the DSS custody, not for your politics or political gains or even for your so-called restructuring. Not because of that. He's there because of Biafra. So when you're talking about the release of Nnamdi Kanu, it's not all about begging Tinubu. It's about Biafra. You must put that first. You are talking about the release of Nnamdi Kanu, Biafra, in that same category. Don't think you are wiser than Nigeria. Don't think you are wiser than Tinubu. Don't think you are wiser than Fulani that is keeping Nnamdi Kanu there, including your fellow politicians in the East, the likes of governors. They know that the release of Nnamdi Kanu has to come in two ways. Oh yes, they know. It's either with Biafra or he compromised like Wazirike. And Nnamdi Kanu has refused to compromise. That's why he's still there. You think if Nnamdi Kanu wants to come out today, he has to beg Tinubu? Nnamdi Kanu does not have to beg Tinubu to come out. He himself, if he wants to be released today now, oh yes, I know they do it again. They will release him and compensate him like Wazirike. Wazirike now owns an estate. He owns hotels, what? He owns, hostels, student hostels. He owns a lot. What was his job? What was the job of Wazirike? And since he was released from prison, what has he been doing that generates him money to own all those things? What has Wazirike been doing? He was compensated. Oh yes, Wazirike was compensated, and he used the proceeds to invest that made him own those things. So if Nnamdi Kanu want to be released today, you don't have to beg Tinubu for that. There are only two things involved. Either you release Nnamdi Kanu and give him Biafra, or Nnamdi Kanu surrenders and say, I know they fight again. He will be released and compensated. Simple as that. Today, if you want to be free today, he will be free. So please, anybody coming and begging Tinubu for pardon and all that must consider Biafra first. The reason Nnamdi Kanu is in that custody. You must put it into consideration, or else you are just coming here to show yourself for political gains. In conclusion, they said, it will add to our votes in the Southeast. You see, they're talking about votes strictly for their own political gains. Not even for the welfare of Nnamdi Kanu, or even for the welfare of those in the Southeast, the Southeasterners, the Igbo people. Now, he said, if President can look at this issue, the Southeast will never forget him, but forever be grateful, he said. Oga, my brother, politician, former lawmaker, whoever, because the other day there's the other one who was talking. Please, whoever that want to talk about the release of Nnamdi Kanu should equally consider Biafra and stop begging Tinubu for the release of Mazi. I want to repeat again before we close that if Nnamdi Kanu wants to come out today, he will be released. He will only say, I know they do Biafra again. He will sign. He will not only be released, but also be compensated. And we all know this, everybody is aware. But Nnamdi Kanu is not a betrayal. It's not a betrayal. Anyway, I have sent my message. Any politician who wants to talk about Nnamdi Kanu's release, you are highly welcome. But please, do not add Nnamdi Kanu or attach the situation of Nnamdi Kanu with your politics. Nnamdi Kanu's situation can never be politicized. Thank you, my people. To salo numozia and make it go viral.